First, we get a plain aluminum can and add a tablespoon of water to it. Next, we take our can and we place it on a heat source. I have already prepared 3 other cans and I will be heating them at different levels as well. Each can has a tablespoon of water inside of it. One has a little bit more. We'll go over that in just a few moments on what the different effect will be. Remember, safety is very important during this experiment. Aluminum does have a low melting point, so make sure that you know more about your heat source. Once the water does start to boil, you will hear the cans making different sounds as the metal starts to expand or contract depending on its sound. Also, you will start to hear the water inside boil and water vapor will start to escape from the can. Once they are ready, I will take them with tongs and turn it upside down and watch what happens. You might jump a bit the first time you do this, but that's okay. The can does instantly cool down. So what do you think happens here? This can was heated at a lower temperature, so let's see what happens. I'll take the can, place it upside down, and I get a much different result this time around. This proves that temperature does play a part in this experiment. Taking another can, just remind you what the effect is. You see the amount of water that pours out? We will go over the reasons as to why these things happen in just a moment. Now let's take another can that had more water in it, that's been boiling for just a little bit longer. There's still water left. You'll see it pour out as I dump it in, and it does collapse. However, you will notice that the collapsing not only is not as much, but it also had more water inside the can that was sucked up from the pan. The reason for this has to do with the amount of vapor that was still inside the can versus the amount of still liquid water that was inside the can. What do you think happened with the equation there? Now, taking the last can once again that's been reheated, we'll see that it will collapse after just a few seconds longer of being on there. And there will be less water in it as well. So, let's go over some key points to why these things happen when we are adding heat, water vapor, and cold water. I believe that if you were to write an equation for this experiment, this is what it would look like. I also found this in various places on the web. When we are boiling our cans, the water inside creates water vapor that starts to escape from the can. The vapor escapes from the can, but it leaves it free of air, and it also creates a small vacuum. When the cool water is introduced, the pressure on the outside of the can crushes it. At the same time, the vacuum sucks in some water. Different variations to the amounts of water, heat, and temperature can create various results. Remember, pressure is always around us. This experiment proves us and shows us its force.